always presented through the teachings of W.A.A.W, which is our new cult that we are creating's religion. Stands for We Are All Wrong. This is my pig in the spirit of W.A.W. Pig is point in God, where we're doing an experiment, a science experiment to prove God is real. I don't fucking know. Who the fuck knows? Basically mocking all of these. What did I say? I need to write this down. Yeah. Presenting my pig, my pointing God through mental masturbation, which is how every good OnlyFans starts. If I do this correctly, then in the end, we'd have all gone and gotten a good mind fuck. Yeah, those are the words that need to be out in the way, whatever. So like every good cult and every good religion, you need to have your hierarchy of spirits, and ours, we have our Mortal Tempter, where we rebuke. Oh man, I was so clever. Rebuke. What is this? What does it say? Where we rebuke. Through the teachings of W.A.W, we rebuke Mortal Tempter as we praise our magnificent man-child, Pat McAfee. Yeah, should just read that. That's pretty much our disclaimer. It's pretty much should say all you really need to know about where my head is in this chaotic nonsense. But like every good cult, religion, government, gathering, it all starts with an opening prayer. So let us pray. Dear magnificent man-child, give me the opportunity to gain an experience worthy of $20 million. These experiences can be any universe ball desired, a 70-yard field goal kicking competition at Plum High School field on a Friday before Thursday or Friday before the draft would be an interesting experience to see what the universe thinks my third place idea is. Another would be a hole-in-one competition at wherever that. What is the tournament on Father's Day? Go there and do a hole-in-one competition. That would be cool. Another cool experience would be having a trial run of the proposed slam dunk competition for the All-Star game for big night out. Yeah, big night out with a dunk competition in it. That would be a cooler deal. Yeah, I think that's the opening prayer. If we ever get it down to where I'm not distracted, it'd be awesome. So, in the name of the boys, ball, the Pat McAfee show, we pray, many women. Yeah, so we'll get that down. I don't think they got the Hail Mary right the first time. That's the first time we tried that, so we can. We'll work. It's a work in progress. We'll be fine. Sounded good. Whatever. So two things was thinking about today. I feel like I could possibly be the least racist person ever, and by being the least racist person ever, I did something so racist. I have to ask myself if it's really racist or if I'm just that not racist. Um, so I don't know. I think I might have told this story before. Don't. Oh, I don't know. Fuck it if I did. Um, so I own the pickleball team, and I think someone's at my door. Um, and I have a buddy of mine, friend of mine, person I play pickleball with. Uh, he's helping run run the team, and they were talking after practice last week, and he had said that we have a very cultured team, and I mean I know that we have a lot of non-white people. Um, I I say what non-white people because I think white is the only skin color you can call somebody, and it's not able to be you're not able to be offended if somebody calls you white, unless you're not white, and then but if you're white and they call you white, then you're just kind of like and like white people are one of the few people who just don't care, right? Like if you ask a white person, you ask what are you, most white people are like I'm white, or yeah, everyone I know are just like we're white, I'm American. Like they don't have uh 23andMe. Their 23andMe isn't memorized. They don't they didn't they didn't memorize it. It's just like I was born in New York, and my parents were born in New York, and then their parents were born in Canada and North Carolina. So I'm Canadian American. Oh no, that's so bad, especially over the weekend. Oh, Canadians hated me for saying it was tough to be Canadian after Canada lost the baseball game, but I'm partially Canadian, and I don't know. It was kind of tough. I felt bad for the Canadians. I've been in that spot where you just can't win one, and it's shitty, but it's good for you because you come out on the other end and you appreciate the next one so much better, and then usually you come out really fucking good. So uh, America probably should enjoy it while they can, because was it like 51 times before this? I mean, don't rest on your laurels, boys. Um, but in any event, so we're told that we were a cultured team, and and they were all sitting around the counter, and they were all Filipino. I think they said one was Filipino, and the other was there. There were like four of them at the table, and they were all I mean, they're all not white, and I don't really care what they were, but they were listing it. It was like Filipino, Filipino, and that before the next one could start, it said if you're all from the same place, you're not cultured. You're just a different culture. Um, and and then one of them said we had a black guy on the team. I was like, what? We have a black guy on the team, and they thought I was messing with them, and then like yeah, and they mentioned him and they pointed him out, and I looked at him and went, okay, but are you sure he's not? I wasn't sure because in my mind, where I live in Arizona, uh, like there's a lot of Asian people. So in my mind, he looked like he could have been like a fit Samoan guy, or like a big Aborigine guy. I don't know if they make them, um, or like a small like Asian. He could have a little Asian in him, could get him the darkness, right? But when they said he was black, I was like, all right. But I wasn't sure, so I asked him, if he was black. And then everybody was shocked that I asked him. And then everybody was even more shocked that I didn't know. So I'm very confused. I mean, ignorance is a weird thing, right? If you think about it, there's only really two groups of people that are ignorant, or three groups. The people that are ignorant about everything, they don't know anything. There are people are who love something so much that they're ignorant to all the bad things that happen. And then there are people that are ignorant so much that they hate everything. But really what you're looking for is the people that are ignorant to being ignorant, right? So if you're ignorant to being ignorant, like, yeah, I know there are things that cause a problem. Like I know that there's some things that you shouldn't say. But outside of those things, I'm not sure why saying all the other things are bad. Like, why is it? If you weren't black and I called you black, you would be offended. And if you are black and I don't call you black, you would be offended. So wouldn't asking you be the best option to not offend you? But if that offends you too, then I think that's where our problem is. Like, there's no option for curiosity. There's no option for being wrong. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't feel like I'm racist. So I guess that, I mean, perception is reality, right? Like, reality is your observation of the experience through the lens of your past. And like, obviously I didn't care enough to care. So I don't care about race, so that I can't be racist. I think that's how it works. So since I don't care enough to care about that, I'm good. All right, perfect. Oh, just in the nick of time. Um, so yeah, the rule. I have a rule. My rule is can't complain about something more than 3 times without having a solution for it. You can complain once. That's your first orbit around it, where you're just like becoming aware of the situation and kind of have to process it all. So you get to like have that experience, whether it's happy, sad, whatever it is. You get to have the first one. First one's on the house, and then you can complain about it again a second time. This time is what I call the brainstorming time. Like, you get to look at it, have an idea of what's coming, and you get to come up with ways to avoid it in the future. But the third time, after the third time is third time is pi, in reference of Pi Day. Like, pi is somewhere between 2 and 4. Um, so you can complain. Excuse me. You can employ pi times. Um, and pi is somewhere between 2 and 4, which, as I think, if you like talk to people, they'll tell you that that's probably very true. Um, so on time number pi, you is where the indifference come. That's where you get to sort out. Is this really? This is where you sort out problems in reality. Um, Problems have solutions. If something doesn't have a solution, then it's just your reality, which is why everybody's reality is different. Because some people see things as a problem that other people don't see as a problem, whether it's because they don't see it at all, they don't see that it's relevant, or they don't see a solution to it, so they accept it the way that it is. Um, yeah, so that's my rule. And I've been complaining a lot about the score thing, and college sports, and especially with today, everybody announcing that their brackets are coming out, and we basically, with NIL, we have eliminated the Gonzagas, that another Gonzaga happening. Like there's uh, that story becomes much more difficult now. Um, Also, I don't really care so much about eliminating that experience if that's an experience that we want to have. I have this thing called the third place, which we're trying to build that it will offer. The sole purpose of that is to maintain experiences. Uh, the main idea of the third place is to create a place where you can have a pure experience, because that's the meaning of life, is to maintain something pure, create something pure, destroy all that's not pure, be indifferent to everything that isn't providing you the experience that you want, the meaning of life. Yeah, so we need to come up with a solution for the NCAA and collegiate sports, and they had what's his nuts on there from the Big 12, I think, and he said something uh, while he was talking about how the suits at the NCAA and the colleges who had been standing on the degree is worth all of this money and making billions of dollars off of athletes, while if they stopped dancing like a monkey, they didn't pay them and then sent them on their way with either partial education or no education for many, many years. And now that the kids have the upper hand, they're like, oh no, we need to not do this. And because they have all of the money, like, this sounds really bad, but like, they're able, having a small group with resources is always going to be far easier to maneuver than a large group with scattered resources. And that's kind of why college sports was able to develop the way that it is. That's why there's going to be a new legislation, which is basically going to make it so we're going to go all the way back to where we were 20 years ago, where kids are going to be able to make, it's not going to be minimum wage, and they're going to be able to make WNBA contracts. That's what college sports is going to be. College sports is going to be a bunch of players making WNBA money. And do I think that that's a lot of money? I do. Do I think that it's an amount of money that you should be complaining about having to play a game for? I do not. I think that there's plenty of money to pay a game for. If you could get more money, I think you absolutely should, though. So if there are people inside of college football and college sports that are willing to pay for it, and that the culture of the sport isn't mature enough. I don't know if that's the right word, deep enough, involved enough that they can't see that maximally exploiting the system is going to ultimately bring the system down. Then the system needs to, they need to die. That's, it's not the government's job to come in and rescue you because you're a child and you can't figure out how to play nice with your neighbor. Like, it's, if you can't figure your shit out, then sorry about your luck, bud. I mean, you're you're the college at this point, and if if you don't want to pay kids that much money to play football, then don't fucking pay kids that much money to play football. Like, it's not that difficult. Why do you need the rest of the country to pay for you to be able to set a boundary and make your own fucking choice? Um, so I think that a, you let the system implode. Like, that's, if ESPN thinks that they can charge viewers or advertisers billions of dollars, and the billions of dollars will be trickle down into people buying their stuff for $1 more an item. As long as that still works, then the money from the TV is always going to go back to the schools, and the schools are all going to have money. And if all of these rich guys have money, then who cares? Like, obviously, college sports, television, having the sports experience has left value behind. It's no longer a value based. it's a profit based, and profit is only to prove that you've won. Like we're not we've of the four pillars of society, the government and competition and art and information. Like government and competition, they are polar opposites. They're always pushing, pulling on each other, and when they become too close together, whereas if they're one thing, you've pushed the other things out of society, the other two poles out of society, which is art and information. And you don't you, you're the colleges. If you're supposed to be the adult in the room, then be the adult in the room. Like if your kid at the grocery store and your kid's asking you for candy every day, you just don't fucking give them candy. Like it's not this is not something that we should be anybody outside of college athletics should be involved in. Like if you don't want to pay somebody that money, don't pay them that money. If you're a kid and you hire a shitty agent and they take you for all you're worth, well, that's on you. Like you need to society needs to understand that there are risks to trusting people, and you need to be careful about who you're trusting, and sometimes somebody needs to set that example. And if it is really a problem, why are you not offering a solution to it? Like if it really is a problem, the only reason why it's a value for you, the only reason why it's a problem for you is because it costs you money or costs you something, or you feel guilty in the end. Why wouldn't you just supply it at the beginning? Hey, you're a college football player, we're recruiting you. um, these are the agents that we recommend, and then have those agents be recommending agents. Like it's not the system is they're overcomplicating all of this stuff. So like all of these problems that are had are very easily solved through just doing what is best for you. The problem isn't so much that the kids are making more money than the system can afford. I don't really think that's the issue. I think the kids know how much the system is worth, and they know what they're worth inside of that system. Like if you're a nobody playing at Iowa or Syracuse or Buff State or UB, or like you're if they're paying you twice as much as you'd make in a work study program, you're probably super happy about it. I'm playing football for like $15. But if you're like a Manning, like you're a needle mover, like you know that you are going to make money for this situation, and you know they're going to make hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars off of your name. Well, if you're making billions of dollars in a fair economic, whoever's doing the work gets 45% of the money going in, 35% goes to the administrators and the stockholders, and then 20% goes back to the actual business of itself. 45% of $1 billion is $500 million. So are we getting upset with these kids because they're making too much money? Are we getting upset because they're finally asking for what they're worth, and you can pay it, and you can't really set a boundary because it doesn't make sense unless you're like, oh, the government said it's illegal? Um, it's an interesting question, because if you think about the numbers, you think the numbers are large, but you look at the deals that are being made for college football and the money's there. Why is it get what you can as an NFL player, but sit back and let the suits take advantage of you as a college football player? That is an interesting question that I have. If you know how much the business is making and you don't, that's just negotiation 101 right there, right? Like if you're trying to exploit it, if they're exploiting you for everything you're worth, you're trying to exploit them for everything they're worth. You know how big the pie is, and you know how much of the pie you should be asking for. I don't I don't see how that's a problem for anybody other than the universities and the kids. If the universities don't want to pay that much money for the kids to play, then don't pay them. don't ask somebody else to come in and fucking enforce it so you have an out. Like that's what I think the Scores Act is. Um, yeah, that is that is what I think the Scores Act is. Um, and that's my solution. My solution is for like you just be fucking grown-ups and do what you're supposed to do. Like it's not, it isn't any harder than that. You can say that there's contracts and everything else involved, but like there there aren't any. It's you put yourself into the tangled web you weave, and if there is things that are going to crush on down behind you for enforcing your boundaries, then that's on you. It's not. It's interesting because you have all the Texas people who say they want government out of their house, they want government out of their house, they want government out of their house until somebody fucking breaks in their house and they're like, oh, government come and make it so when they come in my house something changes, or make it like it's that's a bad analogy, but like government out of my house, government out of my house, but make sure that I'm uh, make sure that you're there when I want to tell on you and somebody. It's super interesting, but um, I don't really feel like drawing today. I'm tired. I don't feel good. Um, so if you enjoyed this, I don't understand why, but for 20 million, access to $20 million, I'll stop. And I don't know how you pay that or how you do any of that. I don't fucking know. As Jerry Smith said in Rick and Morty, the universe will provide, and that's kind of the shit I'm doing. Is this is a good idea? The universe will tell me. If it's not a good idea, well, we'll figure it out from there. Um, as always, if you had a bad day, it's because you made a bad choices. So make better choices. And in the spirit of WA.A.W, till tomorrow.